just gonna check something real quick. See if any of the stuff that I just posted in groups actually showed up. And from there, I'm just moving on. If not, I'm gonna have to go into each group and post it manually because this really sucks. Facebook's like trash. I don't like. I'm really not gonna be streaming on here. I'm probably just gonna be streaming on Twitch. And if people want to see stuff, they can just go. The other option would be is to stream it on Twitch and then just bring it back down onto Facebook and just download the stream and re-upload it on Facebook, because I don't know what to tell you. It's like they're making it impossible to do simple sharing that I used to do before. So trying to see my groups. Oh, I can't see the groups. Like, where are the groups? It's just annoying as hell. Let's see if they go with this post here. I don't see it here. That's iCast. Let's see if they're here in Dr. Fu. Okay, so that stuff is there. It went in 2 minutes ago. So folks who shows up, great. Folks who don't show up, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, I can't stream from Facebook. Facebook's just not a thing anymore. It's like it's just impossible. All I can do is start off the stream and hope people see it. That's it. So yeah, they can keep it. So this is the prompt list that I'm using, is the old prompt list. I just saw a week ago they updated the prompt list to have different things, like 14 is hex in this old one, and now the new one is yokai, which is a Japanese ghost. I'm 25 days in. I'm not going back to go redraw new prompts from a new list. And the thing about the prompts that are on this list, I prefer them anyway, because I read all the prompts afterwards and I'm like, wow, I can incorporate all the prompts into one gigantic story. I can't do that with brand new prompts. Like, there's a prompt that was changed to Day of the Dead. Yeah, like, I'm not doing that one. I believe Mask was changed to Day of the Dead. Or Spellbook was changed to Day of the Dead, which is weird. They also changed Swamp Monster, and they changed Magician, I think. I'm sticking with the old one. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to finish off what I have. So what I'm thinking about doing with it is doing like an art book with a story. Each one of these with a story. And I'm going to reorder them to be in the order of the story versus the order that they were drawn in. Because the story doesn't follow exactly that way. Because some of these things are happening before, some of these things are happening after. Like Day 17, Midnight, actually happened around the same time as Day 9, Skull. And it definitely happened before Day 15, Pumpkin. So that's just a concept of what I'm doing. So I'm just going to do Mad Scientist. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I have an idea already for it. So what I just do is I drop in what I'm actually looking to do, picture-wise, but I know what I want to do. Let's just see this way. And these are just rough layouts for what is going to be done in the drawing. because when I ink it, I'm gonna do a lot more work. So instead of it's a mad scientist doing stuff like on and actually doing something, you're seeing a result of something a mad scientist just tried to do, and it's kind of disastrous. And the thing that I kind of did that I do with the story is some of the characters you've seen them before, and you're just seeing them again in other pictures. Again, like some of these pictures, they're not chronological. So like this stuff that happens to the mad scientist could have happened first, and I've shown you the math scientist before in the picture that I did call, in a picture I just did call Mask. That's actually the mad scientist. So like I said, Facebook has been making it super hard, because I used to do all my stuff like you're seeing here that I'm streaming here. I used to do this all on Facebook. I used to be able to start my stream on Facebook and then share it to different groups so people could see what I'm actually, the art that I'm doing, and have more people actually look at it. The problem is I don't know if people will go from Facebook to come to here to come and see it. So that's just the issue. What I might just do is take some of the stream when I'm done. I'm going to take the stream and just bring it down onto probably on YouTube. I'll just share that to Facebook. Spirit, like I'm not wasting my time loading video into two different areas. Yeah. So what I just do too is it's a setup for my picture that I'm going to ink. So I use like two different layers. I use different layers to set up the characters the way that I want. And what you're gonna see is I'm gonna try to lay down everything in as many triangles as I can, because that shape I found out, if you use it more, you get more approximates, something that's approximately more realistic looking than if you were to use, let's say, ovals and circles or squares or whatever other other shapes you might be using. It was so funny, like I keep saying, when I saw the guy who did the video about this, never use ovals, and he's like, just use triangles, and I was like, what is this joker talking about? And ever since I started using triangles over other shapes, the art's been looking better. And what I'm really doing is a lot of the shapes that I'm blocking out for the body, for clothes and everything, it's using a triangle as your basis for a lot of the structures and the shapes that you're going to do. And what I've been realizing is, yeah, it's actually more pronounced in reality than one might think. I need you to give me that. It's a lab coat, yes. Okay. Like some of the shapes, you're not going to be able to see them. I'm just blocking out shapes that I need to kind of see or understand. Like what will happen is sometimes I'll stop and look at what I'm drawing and reference my own body as a idea of what I'm trying to get. I mean, if I had a camera on, if I could share my screen and share a picture of myself also, you'll see like some of the stuff that I'm doing to kind of figure out how this stuff actually kind of looks. like I said, it's a character you've seen before, and this is kind of how he got the way he looks in Mask. This is what he kind of looks like. This is how he got to look that way. And what I'm trying to figure out, what I'm figuring out story-wise is with these characters, like I said, everything's connected story-wise. I'm gonna use a different color because I kind of need to see like the gore and the blood that I'm going to actually be having coming off of this guy. I need to kind of be able to see it too. Like, so there'll be blood like dripping all over his hand. Like, it's a really bad explosion that blew off like his nose and portions of his face, and it's just like blood everywhere, and he's just like kind of bleeding, and he's burnt and bloody. So that's kind of what I'm going for Mad Scientist, instead of drawing a guy playing with beakers and a bunch of other weird stuff. But I'm gonna try to make it look kind of like a lab. So like his ears are kind of messed up too. But yeah, he just kind of blew up his face. So yeah, that's what I'm going with. Now we'll add this thing back in here. And then what we're gonna do is, for my own sanity, I'm gonna mask some of it out so I can see. Like, certain things are not gonna be shown. This is the mask. A mask on here too. Faster than just do this. This again for just to make my life a lot easier. So this is kind of like how I do my setups for this stuff, so I can actually figure it out. So if we have a lab, the counter space is usually up against the wall. You have the burners. Well, what we could say is a lot of this stuff just got blasted really bad. Like what's interesting is it's like a contained explosion. It's like, instead of killing him, it just injured him badly. So it's an interesting thing. Could magic have been involved? Maybe. Alright, I kind of have my idea of what I want. So I kind of have an idea of what I want the scene to look like. We'll phase both of these down. And then when we're going to do the inks, I'm going to try to pare down a lot more, add in a little bit more anatomy. I might actually do one more layer. His shoulder. He's leaning forward. Lower that a little. Alright, so let's just see. If I started doing the inks on him, I need a new layer up here. what I have to do is make sure his elbow is represented. Then make sure in his lab coat these folds are represented also. So the lab coat is here. Triangle there. And I'm gonna create like a triangular version of his cuff. Like 3 lines to represent it. And his clothes too. So that's one part of him. Now we're gonna say this is the cuff to the lab coat. So this is like his shirt. This is the cuff of his shirt. Shadow in here. Shadow in here. So these are like inked drawings. The idea is I like laying them out before I go into the stuff. And this is just because I'm also not trying to spend the whole day doing this. I'm not trying to do a piece for 8 hours or 9 hours. I'm trying to do a pretty quick piece also. Because the idea is you want to be faster as you're doing pictures. You don't want to get slower. You want to be able to do things so you can do more work and get better. Like that's kind of the reason why I do these challenges, is to help me increase my speed and to see kind of like a picture in my head and try to create something from it. Like there's no references. This is kind of something I just imagined right before I started drawing it. So that's what I'm trying to do, just imagine the scenario and then just draw it. So that's kind of how I've been attacking this this challenge. So let's just say like it's this tie. I'm gonna try to throw his neck in here too. Let's just say his ear got really messed up too. So what's left of his ear, like it's torn and bloodied also. So it's a lot of, like, whatever he did, instead of it being just a straight explosion like to blast him in the out of the lab or something like that. It's more of like, it's like almost like shrapnel, like something teared at his face more than it caused an explosion. So that's why I say like it might be magic related. It's not really the type of science you would think like you would be doing in a lab. And he was using some kind of volatile spirit energy or something like that, and it affected his it attacked his face like. And what could be interesting is because this happened to him, it gave him something. Like they tell you magic comes with a price, so maybe the price that he had to pay was his face. Because what you can do is, like when a character, something like this happens to them, what you can basically rework the story as is like they're a very vain person, and whatever they were doing had to do with that vanity, and they gain a horrible ability, but it's based on them losing what they cherish so much, that their good looks or something like that. So like that's the idea, to play with it, to create this to what's going on with this character. So what I've been noticing too is like whenever you're trying to like do collars, or you're trying to do things on people's bodies that are like clothes related, I've been realizing if you go triangular to certain images or certain things, it works out a lot better in your favor. So that's why you'll see what will happen is a lot of shapes you'll see me use are like something like so. They're all triangles if you think about them. If I just close the third end, they're always triangles. That's kind of what I'm doing with a lot of my drawing style now. Like even these, they're not triangles, but they kind of are. They're just rounded edges instead of the straight lines that you're used to seeing. So everything I'm running in my head is almost run on a three line thing. It's always like three lines. I'm trying to form triangles in a lot of stuff I'm trying to create. So what I gotta do is, so this is his neck. I gotta draw the face too. See, now I gotta fix this head because the one I drew when I was laying it out is not really in order. It's not really designed right. It's lopsided. And then when I did this face too, I didn't really do the lines to balance out where the eyes were, where the nose would have been, and the mouth is. Like I didn't do a lot of that stuff. So what I'm just gonna do with it is, so this eye is still sort of like what I want to do. So I'm just gonna do that. Like the eyelid is kind of gone, so you're seeing a lot more of the eye. And then we can also blow back some of the hair is actually blown off too. Like I said, it's just like blood running everywhere on this guy. What's funny is I'm not using the brushes that are here. Like I have a really good brush for blood spatter. I got a really good brush for all types of different things that I could be doing with this with Procreate. But I'm purposely just using a vector brush, which is basically just the normal brush there, but we added a stickiness or something to its lines to make it flow a little bit more and make it like stick to, like say if I'm trying to outline something, it'll stick a little bit better to it. That's kind of what it is. Then what I wanted to do too is have kind of some of his face and stuff just like hanging off. And like just a mess of blood just oozing off this guy. And we can actually do blood down here and then like pooling on this table. Because like it's funny, the mask that I showed you in day 22, that mask could definitely be magic based too. And it has this gigantic smile on it, and it's not that friendly looking. So what it could be is, could be a mask of many faces. It could be a lot of different things. So, but I kind of figure out who this guy is, and I kind of figure out who the swamp monster is going to be. So I'm starting to figure out the story a bit with these guys too. Like I'm figuring out what their prompts mean also. So nice and easy. So it makes him a lot easier to draw. So, just the guy's face that just got destroyed. And that's what happens to mad scientists when they're playing with forces they don't understand. So that's why I'm going with it. You know what? I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go for the silly type of coat that I like making. Instead of it going to be a straight lab coat, it's going to be a different type. Just so I can actually have this. This freaking collar. So remember, it doesn't always pay to be a mad scientist. And this side I gotta completely fix because I'm not loving what I'm seeing going on. It's just an eraser, that's all I want. Not loving what I'm seeing over here. What I could just simply do, okay, do this. see what the problem is. I'm gonna erase the whole section over here. Let's do it clear. Shoulder, somewhere around here. We're just drawing the rest of this guy's body correctly. We're just gonna do. He does have a tie on. That's his shirt. We're gonna start adding shadows on this side, because there's gonna be light coming from behind him from a fire. Since I went through that whole magical explanation, I'm gonna try to show you it's not exactly a normal fire in the background too. So it kind of explains, like I said, there's an explosion, but it didn't blow him to bits. It did something different. I'll be back to his face too, because I'm not really done with him yet. It's just I'm just trying to figure out his background also. Trying to do my best to remember certain things that I had in labs, even engineering labs that I worked in. You have certain equipment. I'm trying to also remember chemistry lab. Let me just think about it. No, that makes sense. Let's say if he's not, the lab is not perfectly situated, like against a wall, definitely throw a cabinet. That's literally trying to create a room from stuff that you remember seeing when you were in school and stuff like that. That's literally what I'm trying to do, just generate a room from that. So cabinets, definitely for sure. And then I can also do some crazy shelf type thing here too. Just to fill up the space a little bit. There you go. So we created like a backdrop for that too. And we can just work on this fire. It's not normal fire either. And we can do some of that magical stuff that I've been doing. The tendrils of energy coming out over those. Yeah, just to give an idea that this ain't normal. This ain't normal. This is definitely magic based. Stupidity on this guy's part. He messed with something he wasn't ready to. And then what we're gonna definitely do is throw in some of those little magical bubbles. It's like a weighted scale of some sort. Just so you know, it's not normal. This is serious problem that my friend here just caused. I'm gonna add one more thing to that picture just to sell it a little bit more. gonna try to link this with one of the other drawings too. Like it wasn't all just coincidence. Or it could be why he didn't die from this extremely powerful explosion. Could have been saved by a really powerful spirit. So like this piece is added like at the end, more of a for storytelling elements for me, linking characters and linking other parts of the story. Um, I didn't originally see him being in this picture, but it kind of makes sense how he survived, and there's a lot of magic flowing in the area. And you see this guy again in the present, and he's got a mask, and he looks extremely not doesn't look like the friendliest dude. So there could be a connection between those two characters, and it gives our characters some threats that they have to face. That's better. And then it gives you some kind of connection between this character, because I was definitely thinking that these two were connected. The uncle and this guy were connected anyway. So that's what I'm just trying to kind of do with this to show you some of those connections. Whatever our friend was doing here, it was no good, because it did attract a very powerful dark spirit. So that's kind of what I think is the neat connection in the story. Almost done. I need this structure back in. Definitely got something to be mad about. How the hell am I gonna fit in day 25? It sure took up a lot of space in this picture. This guy's a mess. Like his face is just Swiss cheese. I'm gonna try to clean some of this up too. So I'll say this is shadow. So like this principle, if you're wondering like what exactly am I doing, oh yeah, I do love Catalyst Black also. But this is my other stuff that I do. I do stream art also whenever I get a chance. I'm gonna have to stream more of my art on here too. My plan was to stream mainly gaming on Twitch and do my art on Facebook, but Facebook made me change my plans. So now I'm stuck. I'll be streaming here too. Art also. I'll probably stream again later tonight too. The game Catalyst Black. I do stream it a lot more than my art, but every once in a while I'll be streaming art too because that's really what I do mainly. Sometimes I'll do some Catalyst Black pieces too. Before I got into the beta, so I've looked at the dates also. I got into the beta the third week, so I got in the third week of second or the beginning of the third week. That's when I got in. So there's a lot of guys who are like in Hive. A lot of these guys were in since week 1, week 2. So they were ahead of me. It took about 2 to 3 weeks to get comfortable in that gameplay too. So it's a really fun game. I was just doing a stream yesterday on the game, and the best way I can describe it, if you've ever played like a first person shooter, like Quake, or if you've ever played like the team first person shooters like Unreal Tournament, the online multiplayer versions like Unreal Tournament, or if you played Team Fortress, Counter-Strike, all of those type of games, Catalyst Black, that game plays a lot like that, but from an isometric 3/4 top view perspective. If like I can outplay people like I used to in some of those games, and that's what makes Catalyst Black so weird. I've never seen a game in that perspective that's a shooter that works like that. I've never seen you could outplay people, dodge, survive by the skin of your teeth, and come back and take objectives and score points, fight 6 or 7 people, just taking them down, rolling on. It's amazing. Like the stuff that you can do in that game is amazing. So that's what makes that game so neat. It's actually what got me started streaming on Twitch, also because I really wasn't using Twitch. The company who made Catalyst Black, which I'm in the beta test for, they're called Super Evil Mega Cup, or SEMC, as we all like to call them for short. Um, and they created a game called Vainglory, and that's what introduced me to the genre of MOBAs. Because my cousin's been playing League of Legends for 13 years now, I believe, and he told me about League. I looked at it. I never really got interested in it. Oh, I never even really tried it. And then I played Vainglory, and that was the closest thing to League of Legends in a mobile setting at the time. But it was a 3v3 game. But it had a skill cap. I mean, you had to get good at it before it was kind of enjoyable. And the whole idea is you can get good at any of these games, but you gotta put a little time into it. Me, I play bot matches like a maniac. I love playing bot matches, and I love testing out different characters. So there was 50, I believe 56 characters in that game. I knew how to play every one of them. I had my preferences, but I understood like their weaknesses and their strengths. So I know how to use that against people I'm playing. And I have a better idea of what I can do to survive against them. And that's literally what it was. This game is not character based like that was, but at the same time you have the ability to make loadouts and put items together and run different builds and stuff like that, and get mods and things. And yeah, and you get to have an experience like that also, but you get to build it out based on the gear that you're using instead of the character that you chose. So yeah, it's pretty neat. So it's well done. I was mad when they said they were leaving Vainglory and they were gonna go make another game. I was like, how good could this other game be? And then the first time I saw the alpha footage of this, I was just like, holy crap, this thing's amazing. And I've been hooked on that game since. And I got into the beta, really happy with what I've been seeing. All right, how am I gonna? We're going white ink. We're going white and grays. So we're gonna just create a new layer. I'm gonna add in the words. I'm gonna go gray. And we're gonna write mad scientist. If this thing ever wants to write. Mad scientist. Why do I never and I hate the way this thing does this, man. I put a label on something and it does not update the label, which is really frustrating. It used to, now it doesn't. So a lot of people who watch me stream are usually here for the gameplay. I'm working on a motion comic also, so that's why I'm not really. That's what I was doing most of the day today. All right, so the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna do a gray, and then I'm gonna throw in day. $25. Then what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to a white. We're going to go over everything again. Actually, wait, we'll duplicate the layer first. And then what we'll do is on this layer here, we're going to just go over everything again in white. So this sticks out. I usually have to do this whenever I create like a really busy piece. There's a lot going on it, and there's not a lot of clear space for me to write my stuff in it. So I'll do something like this, and then I'm gonna add a shadowed version of the text so you can actually see it even more. It'll stand out even more. Alright, so we have that done. I'm gonna alpha lock the layer. I'm gonna fill it in with black. Fill layer. And then I'm gonna unalpha lock it, and I'm going to go into Gaussian blur. And then it gives you Mad Scientist pops right off onto the page. What I might want to do, I'm gonna push it down a little bit, the words, because I do not want them to be cut off, like when I do Instagram or whatever, because Instagram kind of sucks too. I can't really put it in the exact size that I want, so. So he kind of screwed up. Yeah, so about an hour 11 minutes, not too bad. I like it. I'm leaving it alone. So gallery, yeah. Wait, let me just say something. There's a little bit too much weight going on here. So that's his wrist. I could clean it up, but I'm not going to. But you see what it was. It's basically set up as a. This is basically set up as a quick layout, and then from the layout, I just do my ink work from there. So like, there you go, Mad Scientist, Ink-o-Ween Day 25. We're going to share, save as a JPEG. And I'm gonna go post that. So that is that. We're gonna save the image, and there we are. We're good to go. And that's that. For those who are watching, thank you. Keep your eyes, your ears, your hearts, and your minds open. And probably until later tonight when I'm streaming, we'll do that. I'll be on again. All right. So y'all have a good one, and peace out.